Alex, start with quick reflection on Tuesday night.
Yeah, I think looking back, obviously I said after the game that defensively we worked incredibly hard. Without the ball, organisation and effort and all those things that it takes to stop a really good side, which they are, and we need to do more on the ball. I think our decision making at times, could have been better in terms of keeping the ball, using the pitch better, using our shape better. But it's always tough when you go from a defensive kind of display then to have to go and attack teams, and we have to get that balance back because we've done a lot of not soul searching, but we've also we've done a lot of footage in the last 48 hours since that game, and looking back at times when we really had control in games, and when we were moving the ball well and we looked really calm and composed, and on Tuesday we didn't look as composed. So we have to get that back. So we've done some work, today. Normally, obviously, we have a recovery, but we've done some work, and then tomorrow we'll go again to make sure that we try and get that calmness back about us, because we are a defensively organised team, really well, solid. People work incredibly hard for each other, and that's the togetherness we have as a group. It's just how we can improve the other side.
Have you got to kind of manage the expectations of the fans as much as anything else as well? You've got to realise where you've come from and what you're achieving at the moment, but it's not all going to be top of the table, is it? Every week on, week out.
No, I think also in the last few weeks we've faced a lot of the top six. Now, obviously we want to beat those teams, Lincoln's, your Cardiffs, your Bradfords, all those teams. But I noticed something that when we drew with Bradford at home, we walked in on the Monday and it felt like a loss. Mm. Now, sometimes that's fantastic that a draw feels like a loss. That could we have won it? Yeah, potentially. We defensively we kept a team that had 22 shots previously to 4, but did we do enough to win the game? So a draw probably a fair result, but it felt like a loss. And I think it's not only people on the outside; it's everyone. Like we had a fantastic start, and different. In terms of games, we took our chances when they came along. Luton springs to mind for me. They miss a glorious chance, and then after that, it was anyone's game. And then all of a sudden, we take our two chances that we get, and then potentially could have been more. But we've got to not only manage expectations, but also make sure that we actually realise how good we can be. Mm. So that's the biggest challenge. There is expectation, of course there is, because we've had a brilliant start, and we have some real quality players here, without a doubt. But it's also managing our expectations in terms of saying to these players and that we are a good group. We are defensively. We've conceded 12 goals. We have to make sure that that's a real positive. But now what can we do on the other side to get that winning feeling back again? And, that's the challenge of us. It's the challenge of us. And, we've loved being where we are. It's about every game, and we deserve to be where we are because of the start. In recent weeks, we've been a little bit inconsistent, which we have. But we have to. The way to get that back is to demand more from each other. To when you get on a pitch, really demand that feeling of winning again. That demanding the ball, bravery, courage to take the ball and pass and play and run and all of those things that it takes to win a game. We need to up that again. And I just think if we do that, then we'll win more games than we lose.
I mean, it's obvious to look at one end of the pitch. You can never say you've got it cracked, but it's very, very tight. But at the other end of the pitch, maybe the goals have just dried up a little bit.
Yeah, it's balance, right? It's balance. I think that we are a team that has always been defensively solid for a long time now. We are that. The players that we have in the team and that group feeling, they all work incredibly hard for each other without the ball. On the flip side of that, that's down to us as well. We have to now make sure that we create that feeling of going forwards again and getting, it's not always about filling the box with 5 players and crossing it. It's not always about that. It's about the right cross at the right time. It's about, if it's not on to cross, can we pass it into the box for someone to turn it? All of those things we have to connect, and it's about getting the balance between being an organised, solid team and then being able to have that side to us where when we go and we attack, we all go as one. And I felt at the start of the season we had that. I felt that we did take our chances when they came along. Moments in games, there's been some huge moments in the last couple of weeks which we didn't take that would have potentially picked up points, or going through in the virtue when we're through 1-on-1 and we don't take that opportunity. There are moments in games that I think at the start of the season we did take. But that might be confidence, that might be belief, that might be just at the moment, that pass isn't quite happening, but we have to make sure it does happen. We have to make sure we are confident, they are full of belief going into games. And when we get that and we really believe that in our new skin that we're a top 6 team, then that's when we have to then go and flourish and go and enjoy doing what we do.
And obviously next up is Stockport, and they're a side who I guess have probably seen the same both ends of the results of late, but they're still up there challenging, and they're always going to be a tough nut.
Yeah, I think Stockport. You see Barnsley. Barnsley won for the first time in 4 or 5 last week. For us, it's a matter of concentrating on what we can do and go into these games. Stockport have got a fantastic manager that has done incredible with that group and the club, and we know that they're a good side full of really good players. But sometimes this league is showing us at the moment it doesn't always work just on your quality of players. At times, it doesn't always happen that you just win. You have to warrant winning, and you have to be at your best every game. I think we all watch Stockport because Peterborough is our next game, and we saw a team that and Peterborough were fantastic that night. No one expected that result, so we have to look at that. We have to learn from certain situations and certain games and make sure that we go there for the confidence. Because last year we felt that we actually played some really good football there last year, but again in that final moment we just didn't take our chances that we created. So we have to get back to the performances that we saw at the start of that calm, composed, ruthless, energetic team. And it's difficult at the moment because obviously the players that we've lost through injuries, it's a completely different team. It's players coming in that haven't played as often, but we've always said that we've got real ability in our squad for players when they do come in, that we don't want to lose that intensity in our DNA, and those players that do come in have got to stand up and be counted.
You touched on it there. Obviously, it was quite a lengthy injury list for Tuesday night. Has there been any improvement in that?
No, there hasn't. No, we've obviously still got players out. I think that like I said, the week of after having a week off and then having those 3 real intense games, we just felt that maybe there was a few that were just running slightly on empty, and it proved that with injuries. So we're still going to be without those players for Saturday. So down to the group. When we saw it with Ryan Doherty that opportunities arise because of injury or suspensions or things, and then all you can do as a player is do your best when you get given the shirt. Then it's down to me to pick a team that I feel is the right team to win that game. It's never personal. It's never because I prefer one or the other. It's just because we feel that is the right team to go and win that game. So the players that are coming in this weekend, or the players that play, they just have to do it for themselves to put themselves in the best position to be picked again for the following week. Doesn't always guarantee it, but to go and show people and us why they should be playing.
How has Ryan Doherty been since that? I mean, obviously it was a big game for him, and he probably ticked most of the boxes put in front of him. How's he reacted since?
In a humble way, he was at college at 10 o'clock on the Wednesday morning. I think that I've just spoke to him and just said, why you shouldn't be up, you should be resting and sleeping. And we saw everything from Ryan that we know. He's a fantastic character. I said after, he's a brilliant person to work with. He's got excellent people around him, and he just takes it in his stride. He's 17. He's full of energy. He's so humble in what he does. So it doesn't faze him. So now, but for him, we've always said, it's like your first pro contract. That's that's a hard contract to earn. The next one's your hardest. So for him, it's now right. People are going to now look at him and now think, okay, this is what he is. He's not just a 17-year-old kid anymore. He's played in League One. He's played in the Virtue. He's played a few games now. So that, you talk about pressure on people and you talk about expectation. We have to manage the expectation for Ryan Dockey, not only in playing but also in what people perceive of him. And he's still a young lad and he's got loads to go. But we're really excited by what he's done.
Is he easy to manage this? We've seen players in the past who've almost had to be micromanaged the way through their teens and into the first team. Is that the case with him?
Yeah, he is. He's very easy managed. He's, not only that though. I would say that our group also, that we don't have anyone here that's not that way. It's, you have arguments, you have different situations. They might not agree with it, but they manage themselves. And Ryan's obviously learned and been here a long time now to learn from the rest of the group. So he's a joy. He wants to learn from his clips. He wants to stay outside. He has pros go and help him because it's great for them and great for him to want to ask. That shows where we are as a group in terms that he can do that, and he's flourishing within that. But again, we've got to manage where he is and make sure he just keeps progressing. Understands that this is the start of his journey. Where that goes, who knows? No one knows. That's the amazing thing about football. But we want to try our best. We've worked with him now for a long time, and we're delighted with the work that he's done. I'm delighted with the staff, the amount of effort that all of them have put into making sure that day's come. And that's with everybody, not just Ryan, but everybody. But when you bring and you give someone their debut that's come up through the club, it's a special feeling for everybody.
And I guess you're calling on the rest of the squad as well for the weekend ahead.
Yeah, of course. That's what we're here for. That's what we've got a squad. It's these times, you get tested. You see it in the biggest clubs, and it's no different here. That like I said a minute ago, that the people that come in and wear the shirt, they have to do their best. They have to show why they should be playing. They have to show for themselves, for the fans that travel with us, for us as staff. They have to show, that when they train and when they play, that's why they should be playing in the team week in, week out. And it'll be a great opportunity for some to go and show that.